How'd do? Time for Spider and Old Scooter again. This one is the Watermelon Sounds edition of the game. I could have named it a bunch of other stuff based on what I know I will talk about. Sometimes I never know what I'm going to talk about. But anyway, one of the other things is this is like the third variation on this small game, large people, and book plugs format. So we're going to give it a shot. And we're here to play the iMac version, the default version, the one that came on the machine I bought in 2014, of Spider Solitaire. And one of these days I'll get a cough switch, pardon me. And there are many things to talk about. One of my favorite subjects tonight is the disappearing fire. It's a mystery. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start the game. I need something to occupy my hands while I'm talking here. If you're here to watch games, if Spider Solitaire is your interest, welcome, my friends. I love the game. I do not pretend expertise. I play. Sometimes I'll explain myself, sometimes I won't. But if you're familiar with the game, you know what I'm doing, and you'll see when I miss moves, and you'll disagree with me when I make mistakes. I need to get this cleared up. Let me go through one more hand, and I'll tell you about the disappearing fire. This is so weird. I'm missing any moves. Last night, as I was running down the circumstances of the game, what was going on in the outer world, I pointed out we had a wildfire not far up the road, near a place called the Mountaineer Ranger Station. Mountaineer itself is a little bird, very colorful, on down the highway from us. And the fire was from there, and the source was the local daily news, the Albuquerque daily newspaper, the Albuquerque Journal. And this story was passed around on one of the neighborhood websites with the Journal logo and everything on it about this fire that was near the ranger station. It already covered 5 acres. Was working in thin woodlands with fairly tall and flammable grass. In other words, there was detail. And we're all sort of close. We had a big fire close to here last year, the Doghead Fire. Maybe you heard of it. And so we're all kind of tense about that stuff, so everybody passed the word around. There was a disclaimer or two. This looks like it's a credible source and so forth. Well, anyway, up this morning, we saw no smoke down the road. Although to listen to my voice, you'd think I've been inhaling smoke all day. Not. So we go to breakfast this morning. I'm toasted with a Father's Day breakfast. And we pick up a copy of the Albuquerque Journal on the way for the old-fashioned fun of thumbing through a newspaper at breakfast at a restaurant. They serve a good restaurant. It's called the Ponderosa, named after the local super pines. We have like 17 of them on our land. But anyway, there is not a word, not a peep, not a squeak about any fire near Mountaineer. Search the paper. Curiosity overwhelmed me. I came home. It's nowhere mentioned on their website. You can search Mountaineer Ranger District, nothing. So I may have actually had a first-hand experience with fake news. You know? I mean, I don't know why somebody would do that. So it's not very sporting of them to scare the whole neighborhood, but I thought you should know, because last night I expressed mild concern. In fact, I think I asked anyone watching this to pray for an early control of the fire. So not only were we the victims of a hoax, I guess. If I get any updates on it, I'll let you know. But, inconvenience the Almighty with unnecessary and spurious prayers. He has enough to do. I say he, in the traditional sense, not the gender assignment sense. Who knows about God? So, we're coming up on halfway through the game, finished 3 deals, not much is happening. I did a YouTube-y thing. I recorded, looking more or less like this, not exactly though, one of the welcoming videos when you come onto a channel and you're not registered with the channel or somehow identified yourself as not an experienced viewer there. You get shuttled to this welcome site. So I cut this 1 and 48-second welcoming speech, sort of describing what those among us who people this site do. And I failed to mention one of the principal issues about why this site is valuable, because somewhere in there I asked for people to subscribe, which is a new concept to me, but I'm working on it. I'm going to do that, and then this. For obvious reasons, I think so. But that's a sort of optional move that exists, not just the straight, put the 3s on the 4s and the 4s on the 5s and all that. But the principal benefit, as I've said on many of these, only you who might have binge-watched would probably know this. I hear now that's actually done. At least once or twice. You would know, were you a binge-watcher and happened to stumble across this. I just saw something. It was a hallucination. Now, you don't see, well, I guess you see hallucinations. I forgot what I was telling you. Once a few moves come up, I become distracted and lose my trains of thought. Or in my case, my trolleys of thought. Wheelbarrows of thought. Unicycles of thought. That was exciting for a minute. The benefit of this that I failed to put in the "Hi, welcome, here's what we do" video was that it's relaxing, it's de-stressing, it's becalming, it's distracting from anything that might be bothering you if you're actually playing the game, which I do quite a bit, as I've said, when I'm not YouTubing here. I just play the game. Frequently when I should be doing something more productive. That's one of the reasons this is happening at all. Might as well make something of it, all this playing. But this business of talking while playing is a different ballgame, or game of solitaire, as it were. What are you looking at? This is the largest. Go ahead, get big. Oh, maybe I'm getting too old to move the cursor fast enough to make the big cursor. Oh, I'm 80, by the way, and this, as I've said over and over again, is for the more senior members of our computer crazed society who may actually know what Spider Solitaire is. A ton of people don't, and a ton of people cannot seem to appreciate what a nuanced and subtle and sophisticated challenge between your mind and hers. I mean, hers. I'm getting carried away. I'm certainly getting carried away by this game. Not making great progress. Am I missing moves? Do you see moves I'm missing? You would tell me, wouldn't you? And, what about this? Do I need that too? I really don't. There's not much of anything on here I need. That's silly, and I'm going to take it back. Take it back, or I'll call your mother. Take it back was sort of frequently said in my very young times, like sub-teen, 10, 11, 12. You'd have a conflict, and one person would demand that the other take it back, whatever insult it was, or insult to one of your relatives, or to the size of your nose or your rear end or something, and you just said, take it back, and it was, if they didn't, it might lead to fisticuffs. Jack, King, 4, 7. But that's not said much now. On the sound of watermelons, I bought the biggest watermelon I've bought in years. Sucker weighed 36 pounds. I can't say big. And heavy, my gosh. 36 pounds in a round ball of green stuff seems heavier than most 36-pounders. And I picked it by thumping it. And it's the only way I've ever had faith in that you have a chance of raising your odds of getting a good watermelon. And it thumped good. Was in a huge pile of watermelons at Trader Joe's. And they were from Mexico, and they were seedless. It's amazing. All the seed holes are there and no seeds. I don't understand it. They send seed elves inside and pluck out the seeds. I've seen lots of seedless watermelons, but none that were like this. Actually, the hole as if the seed had been there and went on strike or something. But anyway, there is great audio components involved in shopping for watermelons. And you've either got it in the ear or you don't. There's another sound. I was curious about whether it is hearable on a microphone at this distance from my mouth. So I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to crunch into a piece of watermelon. This is the last of 1/2 of that monster melon. See if you can hear this. It's like crunching like crazy to me. We'll see when I play this back if you can actually hear that. Boy, that's good. My great uncle Gordy, rest his soul, in Sherman, Texas, Katy Railroad switchman, had an accident, fell off, got part of his hand run over and lost a toe. And it's a wonder he didn't get killed. But anyway, he went on to be the chief union guy, the president of the local railroaders union, and was active in politics and so forth, and was a big man, big, frequent conversations with Sam Rayburn, then the Speaker of the House. But he used to torture me. I would be there like 6, 7 years old with a question. And he would say, which is your favorite? You like watermelon best or ice cream? Because he knew I loved them both, just body and soul. And I would torture over it. I would go, oh, Uncle Gordy. So sometimes I think about that almost every time I have watermelon or ice cream. And I still can't make up my mind. Can't do it. So with that, oh my goodness. Got to play this fast before I run out of time. Ace 2. No. I'm not really dying to find any more moves. I've lost $83, $50 to the house margin, 33 moves at $1 a piece. That's $83. I hope you agreed with me about how good watermelon is. Go check out my, I don't know whether you can or not, the welcome greetings video. It's only 1:48. Good night.